Postgame Live brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Week 18, the Giants hosted the Dallas Cowboys and came away with a win. 34-17 is your final score. I'm Madelyn Burke alongside the Super Bowl champion, Amani Toomer. Giants snap a 9-game losing streak against Dallas. Last time the Giants had beaten Dallas was October 1st, 2021. But more importantly, the last rookie quarterback to get a win against the Dallas Cowboys was 2004, Week 17, Eli Manning. That was the first and only win of his rookie season as a starting quarterback. Last game of the season for Eli, last game of the season for Jackson. A little bit of parallel there as the Giants get the win.
Absolutely, and I want to say, when he had his poor performance, I'm talking about Jackson Dart, against the Minnesota Vikings, he just stood up and played better each week. He had a good week last week versus the Raiders, and then came back today and followed it up with another strong, solid performance, showing a lot of signs of being able to improvise, showing a lot of signs of being able to, get the ball and distribute it down the field. One of the guys that I was really impressed with today, and I will never apologize for beating the Cowboys. I don't care when or how or whenever it is. I'm very excited that this Giants team pulled it together to have this big win, especially when you're beating the Cowboys after such a long streak.
It's always great to get a win in the division, especially against the Cowboys. And, Dak Prescott got the start today. He had won 14 straight games against the Giants coming into this game. Now, Joe Milton in at quarterback for Dallas in the second half, but still this count snaps the streak for Dak Prescott as well. Something to add to the books for this Giants team as they continue to build forward. Now, not only offensively but defensively, a big game for this Giants team. Multiple takeaways. Yeah. Bobby Okereke with 2 of them. His second game in a row with an interception. What'd you like from the Giants defense today?
I definitely like the turning over the ball. I like the way they handled the run game. It was a lot better more consistent than it has been throughout the season. And just the overall effort. This is a team that is not giving up. And being on teams that have been as bad as this season is, has struggled as much as this season, it really shows you the coaching and the culture, the fact that they're able to pull it themselves up and sort of put these last 2 games. It means a lot in terms of how this team is going to look at itself in the future and what it really means to be a Giant. A lot of these people in the locker room are going to understand, you're going to fight to the end. That's what being Giant football is all about.
Right, because some fans out there, you're watching draft position and saying, okay, what this does for April. But it is still January. It is still the season. And these guys work very hard week in and week out to prepare for these games. And you go out there with the imperative of winning the game.
Yeah, I always say it's always weird because the players who are actually out there playing the game, they're not worried about draft position. They're worried about putting themselves on film, playing as best they can, because they don't know where their career is going to end or what the next turn of their career is going to be.
Right.
So they have to play hard all the time. There's no real option. And you don't want the higher draft pick because maybe that person's going to come in and take your job. So it's a very dog-eat-dog world, and I think players are there's no guarantees in this league, and there's no more scholarship checks. You got to earn everything you eat, and that has a lot to do with how well you play. Your only real calling card, your only real resume is what you put on film, and you have to put good stuff on film all the time.
Quite a few guys put some good stuff on film today against the Dallas Cowboys. Tyrone Tracy rushing for 103 yards. Bobby Okereke getting multiple takeaways. Both of those guys on the field with our Paul Dottino right now. Let's send it down.
Offensive and defensive stars of the game, Bobby Okereke and Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone, I'm going to start with you. First 100-yard rushing game of the season, 4th of your career, and for the 2nd straight year, you went over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. I think that probably makes you pretty proud.
Yeah, I do. Well, first of all, I want to give thanks to my O-line. They did a great job the whole year. Blocking for me, and the coaching staff did a great job. But the first person I got to thank, man, is my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He did an amazing job of giving me the ability to come out here on the field and just be me. But yeah, 1,000 yards, man, that's more than I can ask for, man. I'm just happy that we got to win.
What kept you grinding? Because earlier in the season, carries were a little tougher to come by, and also you'd gotten banged up. Yeah. But second half of the year, you really showed it. Yeah, I mean, it's more so just opportunities. I pray for opportunities, and then, God willing, I come out here and it happens. So I just got to take advantage of the opportunities I get when the ball comes my way. How much does it help when this defense does what it does and gives you guys a little breathing room on offense?
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot. It really helps a lot, man, because, one, they give us juice. Every time I see Bobby out there making a play, either a pick, a TFL, or a big tackle, man, it gets me hyped up on the sideline to come out there and run hard.
These wins feel pretty good, right?
Man, well, we got to keep it going for the next year, man. This is a great way to end the season. Giant Nation, man, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all coming out. This is just the beginning.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Bobby,
Yes, sir.
Giants Man of the Year. Congratulations on that, first of all.
Thank you, brother.
What are you most proud of this season? The fight that this team showed coming through at the end of the year? Or perhaps maybe it's the off-the-field stuff?
Yeah, the fight, the resilience. We love each other. We love competing. And we love the Giants fans. So anytime we can come out here, get a win, and put a good result on the field for them, it's a blessing.
Your hands like a magnet all of a sudden the last couple of weeks. What's that all about?
Hey, man, first of all glory to God. Couldn't do anything without him. But shout out Coach Bullen. He's put together an elite game plan the past 3-4 weeks, and we've just executed. Shout out Aaron Wellman. I texted him 3 weeks ago, and we set up a great practice plan for me to be fresh on game day. And I've came out here and executed and just done my job.
Finally, what did it mean to win these final 2 games when a lot of people outside the building said, oh, what does it matter?
It's very special. You know, we love all the Giants fans that come out here, support us, to see all their smiling faces and cheers. It means the world.
They got to get you inside. Congrats.
Yes, sir. Much love. Thank you, brother.
You got it.
Those interviews brought to you by Ford, the official vehicle of the New York Football Giants. As we take a look at Bobby Okereke's numbers on the season, 17 games played, 143 total tackles, leading the Giants on the year. Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee for the New York Football Giants. Of course, do your part and vote for Bobby Okereke to be the 2025 NFL's Walter Payton Man of the Year. We also heard from Tyrone Tracy. Second season in a row, he had 1,000 or more scrimmage yards. He did that last season, his rookie season, once again this year after adding 103 yards on the ground and another 56 in the air today. Incredible performance from Tyrone Tracy, just the third Giant to do that in his first 2 seasons. But when you consider the fact that, you know, he missed a couple games, and then Cam Scatterbo came in and became the RB1 in some of those situations, and Tracy was still able to get those kind of numbers. How valuable is he to this offense?
He's very valuable. He's a guy that you can always count on, very reliable. And, you know, you don't know what's going to happen, with injuries and so forth. And when Scatterbo went down, he stepped up and performed at a high level. And you need those type of guys on your team. You need guys that are just going to be, you're not going to, go down in the tank if they end up getting sat down or something, but you put them in, they're like microwaves. You put them in there, they get warm real quick. And that's what Tyrone Tracy did this year.
Get some vitamin W. You better call who?
Exactly. Tyrone. Yeah, call Tyrone. Yeah.
Put on that Erica Baidu. Call Tyrone. We got some vitamin W as the Giants get the win, and guests of our postgame show receive a gift certificate to Ben & Jack's, located on 44th Street in Manhattan. From the celebrated porterhouse to finer seafood, Ben & Jack's will surpass your expectations of what a steakhouse should be. We've got more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. After the break, interim head coach Mike Kafka to the podium. That's next. Time now for today's scoring drive of the game, brought to you by Citizens. For the scoring drive, we bring you to the third quarter. 6 plays, 62 yards, took 2 minutes and 47 seconds off the clock, capped by a 13-yard receiving touchdown by Tyrone Tracy Jr. to extend the lead of the Giants to 24-10. As a reminder, for every scoring drive this season, Citizens, the official bank of the Giants, will donate $750 to the Giants Foundation to support their work in the community. Welcome back to the show. Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Madelyn Burke here with the Super Bowl champ Amani Toomer. The Giants come away with a 34-17 win over the visiting Dallas Cowboys to conclude the 2025 season. We just saw Tyrone Tracy's numbers there, and incredible day for him. Over 150 scrimmage yards on the day. He's got over 1,000 yards from scrimmage. This is coming into today. No, this is... Receiving, this is his updated stats, 15 games played, 740 rushing yards, adding 288 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns in the air and 2 touchdowns on the ground. When you look at how productive Tyrone Tracy was able to be so far this season, Amani, and you consider the fact that Cam Scatterbo next year coming back healthy, how dangerous is this Giants backfield going to be?
Yeah, no, I mean, you have 2 backs that are going to be young, hungry, and productive. Because
Yeah.
when Cam was in there, he's very productive, able to, move the ball, create some sort of energy. And when you have two players in the backfield, you have your Brandon Jacobs, your Ahmad Bradshaws, your Tiki Barbers. You need a lot more than just one running back, especially in the modern NFL, just to mitigate the injury situation. So to secure that running game, you have two backs that you already have. You might want to add one more just to kind of supplement that in case there is an injury. But this backfield is young, hungry, and more importantly, they're going to be inexpensive.
Yeah, and it's always great to see a young core of a team coming together. The chemistry that they're developing so far with Jackson Dart, who's really coming into his own. We've seen Jackson Dart in the run game. At some points during the season, people were questioning, hey, he's got to protect himself better. But today especially really exemplified the growth. We heard from him earlier this season say, hey, I'm learning, I'm evolving, I'm doing my best. He was working the sidelines today. He was sliding, really protecting himself and running responsibly. Yeah,
that was the biggest takeaway I had from him was his accuracy from this season. Watching him as a whole was the accuracy which he throws the ball. Every time he throws the ball, it's a very accurate, catchable ball. And there's a difference between catching the ball a little bit off kilter and right when you can catch it and turn up the field and make a play with the ball. Jackson Dart throws balls that gets receivers opportunities to run after the catch, to get that yak, the yards after catch. That's what every receiver wants. I remember playing with, when I started playing with Kerry Collins, get an opportunity to catch the ball and turn upfield, catch the ball on balance. It was a different situation. So I was very impressed with Jackson Dart. But getting back to the running thing, I was a little nervous early on when he was interviewed and he said, I just play football. I don't care. I've been playing this way ever since I was a little kid. Yeah, this is kind of different now. You got a different set of animals out here. So I liked what I saw. There was improvement in that situation, and he's learning to take less hits. I don't think he was in the tent today, which is a huge step forward.
I mean, credit to Jackson Dart, staying true to who he is as a player, a mobile quarterback who can really gain some yards using his legs, but also protecting himself. There's a balance there, and you can stay true to who you are while also playing it safely. Really love what we've seen from his evolution so far in his rookie season.
Very
and
impressive.
Forward to much more to come. Speaking of more to come, Giants fans joins the Giants family for the 2026 season with a season ticket membership. Scan the QR code on the screen or visit giants.com/tickets to secure your seats now. We've got more to come here on Giants Postgame Live. We'll hear from interim head coach Mike Kafka. We'll hear from quarterback Jackson Dart. That and more. Giants Postgame Live brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. It's Moody's. Decode risk, unlock opportunity. Learn more at moodys.com. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Madelyn Burke here with the Super Bowl champion Amani Toomer after the Giants' Week 18 win over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. 34-17 is the final score. For more, let's send it down to the podium where interim head coach Mike Kafka is addressing the media after his second win at the helm.
Alrighty. Just a couple minor things. Nothing too serious. They're getting looked out right now. Just normal guys that were in and out. Obviously Dex battled through us for us with the illness. Was primarily in the third down role, but really did a nice job when he was asked to go out there. Had an impact.
Mike, for you guys, with everything that's happened this year, just what does a 2-game win streak mean for you all?
It's just real. I'm just really proud of the players and the coaches for hanging tough, putting in the work every single day, every single week. They never wavered. I know the results weren't there, but the process was right. The way they went about it, the competitive stamina they went about it to turn this thing around the last couple of weeks and make a statement in terms of how they played and how they prepared, how they practiced. Just really cool, really proud of them. Obviously, seeing these guys in the locker room, just the smiles on their faces. The season wasn't what we all wanted, but they finished it the right way.
What do you say to Gunnar in terms of not getting his second touchdown pass this year?
Oh, I'm sure he wants that one back, but I'm proud of him. He had 100 yards receiving today, stepped up in a role. When Wandell goes down, one of our premier receivers, he steps right into that spot and has production like that. And, huge critical third downs, big plays down the field, winning one-on-one. They played a bunch of man coverage, and Gunnar took advantage of it.
Mike, what are your emotions right now, as you come to the end of the season? Because you don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, I'm not really thinking about that. I'm thinking about this great win that we just had and enjoying this with the players and the coaches. So, and the family, which I'll see. We had a bunch of family in town as well today. So I'm looking forward to enjoying that tonight.
Did it mean anything more to you, though, Mike? Because the first couple weeks after
I didn't hear the
did it mean anything more to you, though? Because the first couple weeks after you took over, it didn't go so well, and then you got the win against the Raiders, and now you get this one too in front of the fans, like you said, your family in attendance. I mean, does that mean something to you?
Yeah, all these games are so important. They mean a lot because we put a lot into it. We spend a lot of time at the facility, spend a lot of time away from your family, spend a lot of time studying and having to figure out and have problems and find solutions. And so you spend a lot of time talking with it, and it ends up being it's a people business, so you got to work with people and you got to find solutions that make it the best for what those players are and what's best for the team. And so you have those conversations, basically the entire day is all you're thinking about is the players, the team, the organization, what puts these guys in the best position. And so, you absolutely, these mean more because, there's people that are involved, there's families that are involved, and, you want to do the best for them.
Mike, it seemed like Jackson got off to a little bit of a slow start, but then really picked it up. What did you see in him?
I thought offensively, we just had a couple drives early in the game that we could have executed at a higher level. I think there was a couple calls I like to have back as well. Just not finishing in the red zone. I really thought we could have taken more control of the game earlier if we had finished some drives in the red zone. We took some field goals, which was still good. It's kept us in the flow of it. But there was a couple missed opportunities, whether it was penalties or whether it was missed, poor play call, which I thought I had a couple of those that I want back. But I'll go back and look at it. But, I just say the early start of that, I could have helped Jackson out better.
What's it mean for Tyrone to get over 100 yards today? What did it mean for Tyrone to get over 100 today?
It was great. I mean, he became the third back in Giants history to have 1,000-yard back-to-back seasons. So that was a cool milestone for him. But you heard him. I don't know if you guys weren't in the locker room, but he gave a lot of praise to the offensive line, the tight ends, the coaches. Like, those are the guys that he understands that. Like, he understands that it's an 11-man operation, and those guys are what make it go. But he has to make the plays as well, and he did. He had opportunities today, and he knew he was close to that milestone. That was cool for him to get. I mean, that's a pretty big deal when you talk about the history of the Giants, and he's the third player to do that. So that's pretty cool for him.
Can you talk about the importance of Ben Sauls today, kicker?
Yeah, really. I mean, Ben he's been lights out. He's been doing a really good job for us. And then he had some opportunities with the extra points and the field goals early in the game to kind of keep us up, and he was nailing them.
What was your message to the team post-game today in the locker room?
Post-game, I just told them how proud I was of them for competing, for finishing the right way. Throughout the week, teams can go one of two ways, and these guys just kept on staying on it, kept on preparing the right way, giving themselves the best opportunity to get out here and get a win. And then they came out and played it the right way, and they had a great mindset. They were tackling, they were running, they were blocking, and then they were making plays, which is, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Your best players making plays. You had Bobby Okereke with an interception, a huge one, on their side of the field that set us up for a touchdown there. And then you have players like Gunnar, who steps up into roles and, are making plays down the field, right? Ben Sauls, early in the game, we sputtered in the red zone. He steps up and makes a play for us and hits the field goal. So really proud of those guys for stepping up.
Was there a point, when you were named interim coach, how long did it take you and you feel the staff to just get into the rhythm that you wanted them to have?
I really wasn't concerned about when we were going to get into a rhythm. I think we're very early on. It's just myself communicating as clearly as I can the standards and how we're going to operate. And so that was, on my end of it, just really, reinforcing that, what I thought was important, and just giving it to them. And these guys are great coaching staff to work with. They're great coaches. And so, we've been on the same page. I've been working with them all year, all season. Now it's just in a little bit different role. So just being really clear with them with what I was, expecting. And then if anything ever came up, we just communicated, collaborated, and got it fixed.
You talked this year about Jackson's growth, but now, after these last two games, 2 rushing touchdowns last game, 2 passing touchdowns, discipline with his running a little bit more. What can you say about his growth from when he started this journey to now where he is at the end of the season?
Mm-hmm. He's a young quarterback, so you're gonna go through those ups and downs. That's really normal. So we felt like there might have been a little bit, when he had a couple of rough games, it's going to swing. Oh, he's this or that. I think Jackson has done a good job of just staying with his process, going through and continuing to ramp up his communication with the players and continue to work his tail off to get the little things cleaned up, the details, right, his footwork, the mechanics, where his eyes are going to go, his eye progression. So I thought Jackson kind of blocked out all that noise, and you see this a player who's continuing to grow and continuing to learn. And the more reps he's getting, the more information he's going to bank. And now, you can springboard that into the offseason, where now he's going to continue to grow and learn. And all those things that we kind of went through the first time around, now he's seen it 2, 3, 4, 5 times now. That memory bank's going to kick in for him because he rarely makes the same mistake twice. So this is going to be a great offseason for him, and it was a great way for him to cap off the season.
Two more.
What did you think about the way he bounced back from the game against the Vikings these past 2 games? He really seemed to hit his stride. What did you think about his ability to kind of brush that off and bounce back?
Yeah, these are all the qualities that we saw very early on with him in the draft process. And his ability to, after an interception or after a bad play, what does he do the very next play? And so you study that, you look at it, and it's, hey, we're stepping up, he's throwing a big-time shot, or he steps up, throws a touchdown, or runs and scrambles and gets a big play. So he has a very quick memory in that sense, and that's a good quality to have for a quarterback. When things go wrong, you flush it, and you move on, you get back on track and get back on the attack. And I think Jackson, and I know Jackson has that mindset, that aggressive mentality to do that, and he's shown it.
Going into the offseason, now is the time you start developing and putting plans in place for the team. Given the status interim, how do you approach that?
I haven't looked that far ahead. We're just going to enjoy tonight. I have the plan. We have plans laid out. We've had those conversations. Right now is a great night to just, enjoy it with the team, with the staff, and the families.
Mike,
go ahead. Yeah, take the last one.
Mike,
sorry about that.
John Mara has some personal stuff going on. We know that, right? I'm not going to get into it. How important was it today to win this last game and kind of put a smile on his face?
It was great. It's great to have him around. It's great to have him around the facility and the players and the coach. I mean, he brings that energy to the locker room. He was there today. We presented him with a game ball. Talk about toughness and resiliency. He's one of the poster child for that. And coming up and still continuing to lead our organization. Very happy and very proud and very fortunate to work for a man like that.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
And we wish Giants co-owner and president John Mara well as he continues his battle with cancer. Glad to hear he was in the locker room today. That sound from interim head coach Mike Kafka, brought to you by Ford, the official vehicle of the New York Football Giants. We heard Kafka giving a lot of praise to a lot of the players and their efforts in this win today. One of whom, though, I want to highlight to you as the Giants' all-time leading receiver, Gunnar Olszewski.
Yeah.
Incredible game today from Gunnar, who stepped in. Wan'Dale Robinson did not play today, dealing with a rib injury after his 1,000-yard receiving season. But Gunnar comes in 102 yards on 8 receptions. What did you like from what you've seen from him?
I like the efficiency. 9 targets, 8 catches, 100 yards, making big plays that move the chains, and it really balanced out the wide receiving attack. Whenever you get an opportunity to show that you can play in this league, like Gunnar did today, you got to take advantage of it. And when you take advantage of it the way he did, you're just making a lot of people say, oh, okay, he's not just a special teams guy. This is a guy who can actually play and contribute. So next year, hopefully he's with the Giants. Hopefully, I don't know his contract situation, but he's going to get an extra look because you're going to look at this game and say, wow, he actually can do some things out there.
Yeah, a guy who's a very team-building presence inside the locker room, a guy who made a name for himself on special teams last season with the Giants, and who's really stepped in and filled the role as a wide receiver in Week 18 today. All right, we've got more to come, but first want to remind you to check out the Giants app. Head to the App Store and download the all-new exclusive Giants mobile app for breaking news, exclusive videos, updated with a brand new layout, plus the Giants Shorts feed and the Pocket Game Day Ticket Holders HUD. Scan the QR code on your screen or download it for free at the App Store or Google Play. We've got more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. The Giants with a 34-17 win. We got more chat after this.
Just 6. Hey, we're out here. Appreciate you guys for the season and supporting us. We're going to get back to it this next year, and we're going to win a lot more games. I promise you that. So appreciate y'all. Go Big Blue. G-Man, we out.
Hey, Big Blue Nation, man. I just want to appreciate y'all for the whole year, for sticking with us, man. It has been a ride, ups and downs, ebbs and flows of the season, but we are here now, man. 2 back-to-back, great way to end the season. Hey, come out next year. Let's ready to rock, man. We healthy, ready to go. Let's go. Go Big Blue. Go Big Blue, man. 2-9 out, dog.
Lots of gratitude and love from Jackson Dart and Tyrone Tracy Jr. as they put a bow on the 2025 season with a 34-17 win over the visiting Cowboys. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Madelyn, Burke, and the Super Bowl champion Amani Toom. Off-season, it's a long time away from the game, but how good does it feel to go into the off-season with a win?
Oh, it feels amazing, especially after such a up and down season like Tyrone Tracy just said. The fact that the season's over, you had a 2-game win streak, the energy that you saw in those 2 clips, great. Hopefully they can keep that moving forward. But I remember being in a team that had this many losses. It had a lot to do with being relieved after all the negative stuff was going on. You get a chance to redo the snow globe.
Don't do that. But you want to shake things up.
It's a chance to shake up the snow globe.
You got to shake up the snow globe and
shake it up
the energy. And you know what? Shake up the energy. We're going to shake up the energy. Let's send it down to the locker room. Paul Dottino is hard at work. He's got Gunnar Olszewski and Daniel Bellinger. Let's send it down.
Gunnar, what a way for you to finish off this year. Considering training camp, you weren't sure what was going to happen.
Sure.
Then you come in late after they had an injury, and now look at the way this thing finished off. Could you even imagine it would go this well?
No, I really couldn't. And I couldn't imagine that I'd miss Chris Manhertz butt naked in the end zone either. I mean, that's what I'm most on my mind right now. But it was awesome to go out like that. Shout out all the guys shout out Dart believing in me, throwing me the ball. It was a lot of fun. Most fun I've ever had in a football game.
How much trouble did Chris give you after that short pass?
He didn't give me none. It's on my phone. It's all the rest of the guys. It's on me.
Needless to say, your first 100-yard game as receiver with anybody in the
life,
NFL.
yeah.
In your life, too? Yeah. Not just also college?
Sure, yeah. I didn't play receiver in college, so yeah.
All right, so that's got to be a pretty proud moment, especially since
really
it came in a game when a lot of people said, oh, it doesn't really matter.
Sure, yeah. Maybe it don't matter to them, but all the guys who put on this jersey and put on this helmet, it matters to us, So it was a lot of fun to go out there and do what my team needed me to do, step up in a situation when somebody gets hurt, and that's what you, as a backup special teamer, that's kind of what your job is. So I'm glad I could do that.
And I think that's important for people to understand because you're not a first-round draft pick, right? You're one of those guys on the depth chart. You play special teams.
Right.
For you especially, pride and getting wins is a critical deal.
For sure, yeah. Nothing's guaranteed for guys like me, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So, every time I step on the field, it's a fight to keep doing what I love to do. So that's how I looked at it.
How much you love playing with Jackson Dart?
I love it more than anything, man. I was at 98 yards, and they had a different play called, and Jackson was like, we got to get him 2 more yards. And he just went in the huddle, called his own play, called my shot, and I was like, my guy, bro, I love you. So
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
Thanks,
Thank you. Thank you.
They're sacked or ball's dirted. So, for him to be able to just make that throw is enough to get it going.
You had to reach down pretty far to get it, too, right?
Right, but it's a good play. Good play by him.
It looked like Mahomes and Kelsey.
I mean, it felt like it.
I mean, the catch is the catch, and that probably should go for a short game.
Right.
How does that become a long touchdown?
Well, I mean, of course, it's everybody, right? Like, you don't see the backside receiver going to try to get a block. You know what I mean? You don't see the O-line, working their butts off to make some blocks. So it took a total team effort specifically on that play. It starts with Jackson making the throw, being able to catch it, and then everybody's set up to make the play happen.
As somebody who's one of the blue-collar guys on this team, Daniel, how did it make you feel to win these final 2 games and to finish the season stronger?
It was important. It was important for all of us because we put so much work in throughout the year. Every practice, every lift, every time we're in the training room, we talk and we're fighting to win. And obviously this year didn't end how we wanted it to end, but the last 2 games definitely gave us some confidence and pride going out swinging.
As we take a look at Daniel Bellinger's stats on the day, he had 2 catches, 38 yards, and a touchdown. And we heard him talking about that touchdown play. What a great play. Way to make lemonade as you consider the fact that Jackson Dart under a lot of pressure in that moment.
Yeah.
But Amani, when you're in a play like that, Jackson Dart, got the pressure coming in. He kind of shovels it a one-handed chest pass to Daniel Bellinger, who gets a 29-yard touchdown. Yeah. As a receiver, I mean, that's great to be able to make something out of nothing, but is it hard to catch a pass like that?
It really is because you don't know what's coming on the other side of the field. So you're focused entirely on the ball. and you don't know at any moment somebody can come and clean you up. So you're catching the ball and you're really focused on it, and then you're kind of like, as you look up, you see some open space. You're like, oh, great! Oh, I got a little room.
Got room for activities.
And he made the most of it. That was one of the best plays I've seen this year in terms of the quarterback making improv, the concentration on the catch, turning it up the field.
Yeah.
It was a total team play, just like Daniel talked about.
Yeah, a lot of people calling that Mahomes-esque, and it's saying how much fun it is to play with Jackson Dart. What's that
Mahomes,
thing?
I mean, let's pump the brakes just a little bit. Just a little bit.
In the genre of.
Okay, all right, I'll go with that.
In the genre of. And, hat tip to Jackson Dart. Gunnar Olszewski talked about how he got his boy over 100 yards on the day.
Yeah.
Real teammate right there.
Yeah.
All right, we've got more to come here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Who's going to be the player of the game? That and more coming up. Stay with us. Time now for the player of the game, brought to you by HCL Tech, supercharging progress, the official digital transformation partner of the New York Football Giants. The player of the game in Week 18, Giants linebacker Bobby Okereke, 6 tackles, an interception, and a fumble recovery. His second straight game with an interception. The Giants' Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee Bobby Okereke coming up big for the Giants defense as Big Blue gets the 34-17 win over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. For more, let's send it down to the locker room and hear from defensive players Brian Burns and Abdul Carter.
So, Brian, you cap off the season with a couple of wins, and I know somebody who hurts after every loss like you do, this has got to be a much better feeling.
Yeah, a lot better. It's good to go out on the win, especially at home. Energy's high. Yeah.
What did you see from this defense the last month of the season that makes you feel an awful lot better going into the offseason?
I feel like we played a little bit faster. We was able to get the ball out. I think we, in the last, 4 or 5 weeks, I think we got like 8 or 9 turnovers. So, that's a big jump for us. I might be wrong a little bit on those numbers, but we definitely got the ball out a lot more. So that's a big jump for us, and that's something that we needed.
There's a lot of uncertainty. You never know who's going to be back, coaches, players, when the season ends. How much do you think about that at all? I mean, this is the last game you'll play with all these guys in this room.
I think about it pretty often as of recent, just because I got so much, excitement and I believe in this team and I believe in the pieces that we got. So I have been thinking about it a little bit. So,
what would be the one message you have to Giants fans going into this offseason to tell them that there is optimism for 2026?
I feel like we're headed in the right direction. We have our guy. We have cornerstone pieces on each side of the ball. And, it's nothing but to be excited,
Giving that game ball to Mr. Mara is fine, but he deserves more. This franchise, everybody deserves more, and he would be much more happier if we were in the playoffs, having a winning record. That's what I tried to say at the end. Just, next year we got to come with a whole different mentality and make sure that we're never in this position again.
Abdul, what did you learn about yourself over the final stretch of the season?
I learned a lot. Just, I really can't even say anything specific. Just doing things the right way, and in my opinion, just being closer to my Lord, praying more, has helped me a lot.
A lot of people say there's no momentum because there's so much time between the end of the season and kickoff next season. Do you buy that, or are there things that you did in the final month of the year that you believe will make you a better player, a better person, and they will carry over?
Yeah, everything counts. All the habits you make counts. Everything you do towards the end of the year is definitely going to carry you into next season. That's what I'm going to try to do, just try to do more for the team.
How much will you miss some of these teammates who probably won't be here next year?
Yeah, I'm hurt right now. I'm going to miss it. I miss it already. I don't want to stop, so. Yeah.
Tough way to end the season when you look around the locker room and think, you know what? This is the last time that this group as assembled will be playing a football game, but they ended it on a win, 34-17. As we look at Abdul Carter's numbers on the season, 17 games played for the rookie, and he's really ascended. And one thing, Amani, that we hear when talking to Giants defensive players, Bobby Okereke talked about it earlier in the show when he was on the field with Paul Dottino, saying, got to give a little hat tip to Chuck. Charlie Bolin, the interim defensive coordinator, has really gotten the most out of this defense in the final weeks of the season. An increase in takeaways we've seen, an increase in pressures we've seen. What have you seen from the Giants defense down the stretch, and how much they might have turned a corner?
It just looks like this team on defense, it looks like they're playing a lot faster. They're making a few more mistakes, and the tackling is so much better. And the energy level, to me, is reminiscent of those teams that you're familiar with with these when you think about the Giants defense. And getting back to Abdul Carter, you look at his statistics with 4 sacks on the year. That doesn't really tell the story because he's come so far from the beginning of the year to where he is right now. And I think he's in a sweet spot to move forward. Sometimes your rookie year, you have to grow. It's a big transition from college to pro. You're moving jobs, you're moving cities, you're getting used to New York. I think he's positioned himself well to have a really phenomenal year next year. And him and Burns together could make one of the most spectacular outside rush combos in the league.
Absolutely. They're getting a lot of pressure. They've got a great combination. They've got a lot of energy that we've seen from the defensive side of the ball. And speaking of energy, one guy that's been bringing the energy, that brought it before the game today, Giants running back Cam Scatterbo. He was back in the building, giving a little bit of a Go Big Blue hype up before the game, leading MetLife Stadium in the chant as we take a look at the video. Scat with the Go Big Blue. We got more Giants Postgame Live coming your way next.
Go Big Blue! Go! I know your contract is up and you don't know what's going to happen, but how much better can this offense be with Neighbors coming back? Scatterbo will come back off of his injury, and maybe if your line stays intact, could be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I think that at the beginning of the year when everyone was healthy, not all the pieces were in there. Like, we didn't have Dart in there, or Scat wasn't playing as much, or, Leak was playing. But then, Scat, Leak, and Dart really weren't on the field together this year, like the Chargers game. But Scat still wasn't really playing as much, and he didn't start playing as much until a little later in the season. Then he got banged up. So, having those 3 back, especially Neighbors, who's one of the best receivers in the NFL, for a young quarterback will be huge. The tight end room is really developing. Theo, I think, developed into a really good tight end this year. And then the other underrated player is Schmidt. Schmidt got a lot of crap the past 2 years for different things. But if you really watched the O-line this year, he's at the center of that because of his play and how he elevated himself this season. And I think the future is really bright for him as well.
Thank you so much.
That's Giants offensive lineman Jermaine Illuminor with our Paul Dottino. Welcome back to Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. Madelyn, Burke, and Amani Toomer breaking down this Week 18 Giants win. Jermaine Illuminor tweeted out after Week 17 that he hit 1,000 snaps for the first time in his career. And credit to Jermaine, he says, hey, my B for the Flags, need to clean that up, but it was a huge goal of mine to hit 1,000 snaps this season. First time in 9 seasons.
Wow.
I've been able to do so. So credit to the big man for the consistency right there. But how much growth have you seen from this Giants offensive line that was kind of a point of contention for this Giants team in years past?
I mean, absolutely. When you think about this team and you think about some of its shortcomings, the offensive line wasn't the main factor. And for that not to be a main factor after 2 or 3 years where it was, you were able to develop a Jackson Dart. You were able to see what he was able to do. The running game got going. You saw receivers have 1,000 yards and be able to be productive. And it's just a point that you need to get a handle on, which the Giants have had now, and to allow the rest of the team to develop. And I feel like, the offense is young, and it's developing, and there's a lot of things positive.
A lot of things positive to build on as we look ahead to 2026, and we'll continue to do that. But we're going to take a quick timeout before our final segment here on Giants Postgame Live, brought to you by Hackensack Meridian Health. Keep getting better. We'll wrap it up and hear from the QB for this.
We just wanted to make the most of our opportunities together, and I'm just proud of the guys that we were able to stay together this week. And put together a good plan and then be out there on the field and compete at a high level. I didn't feel like there was any guys who, really took it off or lowered the intensity. So it's a way better feeling to win a game like this for sure.
What's it like having Gunnar in there, and do you have any quarterback tips for him to set his feet differently?
Shoot. I feel bad for him and Chris on that one. I know they both want that back. But Gunnar played a great game, and he was very prepared all throughout the week. He's a guy in the locker room that everybody loves, and I knew that, him coming up and filling a role this week, I knew that I was going to get everything that he had. And he's just a guy that competes at a really high level, who you can trust, who's going to give it his all. So I was proud and happy that he was able to get 100 today. But yeah, we got to talk about that throw for sure. We can't let that slide.
Can you talk about how would you describe what you had to do on the play for Daniel Bellinger to score the touchdown?
Oh yeah, just had like a double-sided screen, fake to one side, and the guy got upfield fast. So I was like, crap, I got to make something happen here. And he kind of like got my face mask, so it made me stumble a little bit. And I knew that he was kind of a little scotch-free, so just tried to give him an opportunity. And he got his knees up when he was running, so he looked good scoring that touchdown, and was happy for him, and it was a good play for our team.
Delivery there. What is that? That's a.
Just gotta make it happen. Turn two, gotta flip it.
Jackson, have you been able to build a relationship with John Mara since you've been here, and what does it mean to win this one for him?
Yeah, obviously he's going through a lot. So the fact that he shows up for us, still comes to the facility to work, and he loves ball. He loves this organization. He gives it everything that he has, and from my perspective, and everybody around here just has the utmost respect for him and is rooting for him and praying for him. And I just think that he's a special individual, and to continue to support us while he's going through probably the hardest time of his life right now, it just says a lot.
Obviously, you're relatively new.
That's Giants rookie quarterback Jackson Dart as we take a look at his season stats. 14 games played, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks, 9 rushing touchdowns as well. 1 rushing touchdown shy of the double-digit mark on both ends. But an incredible rookie performance and a debut from the quarterback Jackson Dart as he ended. We heard his media availability, giving a lot of credit and thanks to John Mara. Amani, I know he's somebody that you've got a close relationship as well, too. What does it mean that he's consistently showing up despite his own personal battles he's fighting?
Yeah, it's more than just, he's more than just one of these guys that comes in and owns a team. This is a guy who lives and breathes this game, and it's a family business. It's not just something that you can go away. When you see him, when the team is struggling in the press box, it really hurts me to see sometimes. But the fact that he's back, it shows a lot of. It's not just the fact that he's owner. He's a big part of this organization.
And it's incredible for this team, this organization, to end this season with a win against the Dallas Cowboys as well.
Absolutely. Beating the Cowboys, never excuse. You don't need an excuse for me to beat the Cowboys. That is not something that we're worried about. But I'm really happy about the way they played.
A great win to cap the 2025 season and something to build on, lots to build on. The Giants get the win today, and we thank you for spending each week with us as fans watching us here on Giants Postgame Live, tuning in to watch Giants games and all of our content throughout the Giants platforms. As well, thank you to our producer, Dan Culleny, our entire crew in the control room, our crew out here staying cold with us. For the Super Bowl champion, Amani Toomer, I'm Madelyn Burke. We'll see you next season.